Georgia football at the 2025 NFL Draft. Day 3. After 3 former Georgia Bulldogs, Mykel Williams, Jalon Walker, and Malaki Starks, were picked in the first round, and a trio of offensive linemen, Tate Ratledge, Fairchild, and Jared Wilson, went on Day 2. There were still plenty of Georgia players on the board on Day 3. Rounds 4 through 7 will conclude the draft on Saturday. Here are all the Bulldogs selected on Day 3 of the 2025 NFL Draft. Arian Smith. Speedster wideout Arian Smith became the first Bulldog off the board on Day 3 when he was selected by the New York Jets, 110th overall. Smith has special straight-line speed and was one of the biggest deep threats in the country during his time at Georgia. Once he hits top speed, he's gone. And despite some struggles with drops, he led the Bulldogs in receiving in 2024. His raw speed and underrated physicality also make him a solid prospect on special teams. But the Jets should also utilize his speed to take the top off of defenses. Trevor Etienne. Running back Trevor Etienne was selected 114th overall by the Carolina Panthers in Round 4. In his one season at Georgia, Etienne was a reliable, shifty back who provided a nice outlet in the passing game as well as some solid work in pass protection. Though he never led his team in rushing in any college season, Etienne had some huge performances for the Bulldogs, particularly in both of the team's wins over Texas in 2024. He will join a running back room headlined by Chuba Hubbard and should be a reliable contributor out of the gate for third-year quarterback Bryce Young. Tyrion Ingram-Dawkins. Defensive lineman Tyrion Ingram-Dawkins was the first pick of the 5th round, going 139th overall to the Minnesota Vikings. Ingram-Dawkins is a superb athlete with a quick first step that helps him blow by interior linemen to get in the backfield. Injuries limited his production in college, and his pass rush skills are in need of refinement. But Ingram-Dawkins tested off the charts at the NFL Combine. He should be a solid depth piece for Minnesota right away, with the upside to develop into a productive interior pass rusher. Another former Bulldog is off to the Philadelphia Eagles. Smail Mondon Jr. was drafted 161st overall by the defending Super Bowl champions in the 5th round. Mondon will join former teammates Jordan Davis, Nakobe Dean, Louis Sine, Kelly Ringo, and Jalen Carter in Philadelphia. An athletic, instinctive linebacker who started for 3 years at Georgia. Mondon will get the chance to contribute alongside Dean, Zach Bond, and the newly drafted first-rounder Jihad Campbell in the Eagles' linebacker room as the team seeks to repeat in 2025. General Manager Howie Roseman's fondness for drafting former Georgia players has worked out quite well for Philadelphia lately. Warren Brinson. Defensive tackle Warren Brinson was selected 198th overall by the Green Bay Packers in the 6th round. Brinson was a key part of Georgia's inferior defensive line rotation throughout his 5th year. He will join former teammates Devonta Wyatt, Quay Walker, and Javon Bullard on Green Bay's defense. Brinson was one of the steadier presences on the line at Georgia and should provide some solid depth for a Packers team aiming to win the NFC North. Dan Jackson. Safety Dan Jackson became the second Georgia player to be drafted by the Detroit Lions, going 230th overall in the 7th round. He will join teammate Tate Ratledge in Detroit. This will be the next step in a remarkable story for Jackson. He started his career as a walk-on in 2019 before eventually working his way up to being a starter in 2024. Jackson's grit is well documented at this point and made him a fan favorite at Georgia. and he will bring that same drive to Detroit. Dominic Lovett. Wide receiver. Dominic Lovett is the third former Bulldog taken by Detroit in this draft. He started for 2 seasons at Georgia after transferring from Missouri. While he never matched his final season at Missouri in terms of production, Lovett was still a prominent weapon out of the slot for Georgia. Detroit drafted another wide receiver in the 3rd round, Alex Tesla, who has similar slot skills. Both will look to contribute to a wide receiver room that features premier slot receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown and deep threat Jameson Williams.